Hey, DJ Ranma S here from Anime Jam Session and Kotoricon, our first convention of the year. And we are here to have the wonderful, talented voice actor, one and only is Bill Rogers.
Hey,
Hey,
thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you. So, I'll ask you the same question I ask pretty much most of the voice actors, and you can just roll with it.
Okay.
So, how did you get into this field in the industry?
How did I get into this field of the industry? Well, I was a stage actor, and but as a child, I really wanted to be like a cartoonist or an animator. I really loved cartoons and animation, and I studied a lot of that stuff when I was a kid. And I found as an actor, I was given the opportunity to do voice work. Back in 2001, I had the opportunity to be in a show called The Simple Insert, which was just 2 half-hour episodes. It was a direct-to-video release from Bright Stuff International.
Okay.
And it was really cool. And when I went in, I did just like a bunch of miscellaneous voices, and the director really liked me. And he was like, "Let's have you back in." And I continued to do voice work from there. And I still work on stage, and I still do indie film work. But voice acting seems to be the thing that kind of stuck the most.
That's pretty cool. So, what roles have you done that really stand out, you really enjoy doing?
Well, there's a couple. One of the big dramatic pieces that I did was I got to play Toma Seguchi in Gravitation, and that was like the first big, because I'd done a couple different comedies and different things, but this was a nice meaty dramatic part that I did.
Okay.
It kind of put me on the map with the anime community, and it's a part I hold very near and dear to myself. I also got to work on Genshiken, which is a comedy about anime fans, and that kind of hits home because when I was a college kid, I was in an anime club, and we were all kind of a bunch of geeks enjoying anime and video games and whatnot. Yes, I'm getting the thumbs up of approval from your cameraman.
Yeah, we all associate with Genshiken. For a while, my house was like Big Bang Theory, but it is what it is.
Yes, and I got to play Tanaka in that, and it was an absolute blast. But the thing that really is the thing that people know is Brock in Pokemon, and that's one of those things where when I talk to people and I say, well, I was Toma Seguchi in Gravitation and I was Tanaka Soichiro in Genshiken, they're like, what? I'm like, Brock in Pokemon. Oh, my kids love that show. So that's for the street cred. That's where a lot of people know who I am, and that Brock's off becoming a Pokemon doctor now, so he's not in the show anymore, but I still voice about 30 or 40 different creatures in the show, so I'm continuing to work on that, and that's been, it's about 8 years of my life right now.
Wow.
And so it was a big deal for me, and we continue to do the show, so it's a lot of fun.
I think that's pretty cool. So, and you said you've done like indie films and stage acting. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I got my start. I live in Jersey, which is where we are, because out in internet land, they're like, they could be anywhere. They're on the moon. But I am a Jersey boy. I actually was born in Brooklyn and raised on Long Island, but we moved back and forth, and so New Jersey's where I currently hang my hat. And I've done a lot of local theater out in Jersey. Worked with a lot of different groups. I've had the opportunity to be in a lot of really cool shows. I got to be Max Prince in Laughter on the 23rd Floor, and I got to play Dorian in Opus, and Billy Bibbit in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I was also, last year, I got to play Nikki in a regional production of Avenue Q. So,
ooh.
Yeah, it was great. It was probably one of the more demanding parts because you had to sing and dance and move around with a puppet and make sure that you were, constantly puppeteering while you were running around like a crazy person on stage. So it was definitely a challenge, but one of the more rewarding performances of my career.
I really think that's pretty cool. So, just out of curiosity, if you didn't go towards the field of voice acting, would there something else you would have gone in, like more into like the indie films or the stage acting or something totally different?
I'd like to do all of it. I mean, I really do. And I've done some independent work with Outworld Entertainment and Chain Smoking Monkey Productions, which if you go do an internet search for them, you'll find their pages. They're really cool, like indie groups, and I've done some stuff on screen, and I've done some voice work for them, and they know that like I end up being the go-to guy a lot of times when they need voice stuff. But I love doing the on-screen as well. But the thing is the good thing about voice acting with stage acting and on-screen acting is you're kind of limited by who you are.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that because I've had a lot of great parts. But with voice acting, I can be like a young boy or an old man or a dragon or like a little like mouse or I could be a little monkey because I was Chimchar in Pokemon. And I get to be all these different types of things and characters. And, I guess you could kind of cram me into a dragon suit and I could be a dragon.
So it's like endless possibilities for
Exactly. Voice acting really kind of opens up a lot of things, and I don't know, it just seems to be the thing that has really worked for me. So.
All right. Now, when not voice acting on stage, what kind of fun stuff do you like to do?
Well, much like my Genshin counterparts, I like to play video games and watch anime. I love sci-fi films. Somebody once asked me, they were like, Dark Knight or Avengers? And I said, why choose? I mean, I love it all. I go see all of the Marvel and DC movies. I love all of that stuff, and so that's where I spend a lot of my free time. And then when I get the chance, like I say this and people get confused because I just beat Arkham Asylum, and they're like, you haven't played Arkham City yet? No, I don't have that much time. But I got through Arkham Asylum,
exactly.
So I'm enjoying that. And I've only played the first Uncharted, but I intend to get through the rest of them. And I love my PS3 and the Wii, and I got to be Lucario in Super Smash Brothers, so it's always fun when I get together with my friends and play Smash Brothers, and I get to play Lucario. I'm like, I'm beating you up, and it's me. But yeah, I mean, it's, and then of course I play the Pokemon games, and, I always kind of, there are some people in the studio that kind of laugh, and I'm like, I'm doing research. Yeah, but I do love it. Somebody asked me today, who's in my team right now, and I have a copy of Black 2, and I have a Timber and a Girder, and a Coughing, and a Lucario, and Magnemite. I can't remember the sixth one right now, but these are all creatures that I voice. Mm-hmm. So like I have a tendency of like grabbing a team of creatures that I am. So.
A team of Bill Pokemon.
It's a team of me.
But
when I was playing Diamond and Pearl, I had an army of Krogunks. So I would just leave them at the ranch so that they could breed, and then I'd just pick up more Krogunk eggs as I went along. It was
cool.
Fun. I mean, you can't have an all poison team because it doesn't really work that well, but it's they're fun to have.
I believe it. So, what would you tell somebody who wants to get into the field of voice acting?
Don't. No.
I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
It's a rough road. I do the Pokemon work year round, so it's a constant paycheck. Before then, when I first started back in 2001, I was doing other work, and even now with Pokemon, I still do like script adaptation work, and I work for a bunch of other different studios, and besides anime and video games, I work for a group that does Korean live action.
Cool.
I work for a Korean site that does ESL stuff, and I work for a Turkish site a Turkish group that does Turkish live action stuff dubbed into English for satellite television.
Oh, okay.
So I work with Ebru Entertainment, Ebru TV, we adapt and dub shows into English, and they're Turkish like cop dramas and stuff like that. And then with the Korean group, I work with a group called Little Fox, and you can go to their website, but it's all in Korean, so unless you know Korean,
right.
But it's funny, if you go there and you look at some of their videos, you can be like, I know that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy. So a lot of the New York actors work, it's like this ESL website for kids to learn English.
That's
so
pretty
we
cool.
like read children's classics, like I was in Wizard of Oz and Black Beauty and The Railway Children and like a bunch of those. And what it is like you go and you hear us, and then there's the words on the screen so that like they can learn this is how you pronounce these words and different things. And it's pretty cool. But like all of that work kind of helps me stay afloat. When I first started, I was working in insurance, and I was working in medical billing, and I worked retail for a while. Just bounced around to kind of make ends meet until it started to work. So what I would say to somebody who wants to get into this is that it's a long road, and you really have to be ready to deal with that. And it's a hard road. You got to deal with a lot of rejection. I mean, to this day, people are like, "Oh, he's in Pokemon. You just walk in and audition and be like, hey, I'm in Pokemon." And be like, "You're cast." It doesn't work like that. There are a lot of things that like I'll audition for and I don't get, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sad." But you just got to kind of pull yourself up and keep going.
Right.
So I've had a lot of really cool opportunities, and I've been in a lot of great things, but I've also, gone out for a lot of auditions that I didn't get, and you just got to be able to persevere and roll with that, because it can be a difficult road at times.
I completely understand. All right, so any last words you want to tell our friends and family and the entire audience and internet people out there?
Well, the people that are listening to us on the audio won't be able to see this, but the people who are watching the video will realize that we're like in a corner here, and I thought at first when they put the camera on with the lights that I was going to be questioned or something. I was really expecting you to be like, "Who do you work for?" But
What's the code? What's the code?
Let's have a little 24 moment here. So yes, for the people who are listening out in audio land, I'm just making sure that I don't get interrogated here, because there's a nice brick wall that DJ Ranma is going to crash my head into now. What else can I say to the people? If you are interested in finding out more about my adventures, just search Bill's Voice. I'm billsvoice.net, but I'm also Bill's Voice on Facebook. I have a fan page, and I have a Twitter account, and I try to keep everybody updated on what I'm doing as of late. And when I find out where this is, I will definitely post it to my page and be like, "Go check out this cool interview I did."
Now, before we get out of here, one more thing.
Yes,
it seems that you were supposed to be at Anime Next last year.
Oh God, here we go.
You decided. I don't understand. This is your hometown. Nothing will take you away, but you disappeared that weekend. I do believe a couple of voice actors kind of razzed you about that. Thank you, Kyle.
This is going to become a serious issue. I will be at Anime Next this year. Lindsay has already contacted me and said you better be there. I will say a quick shout out to the people at OMG Con out in Paducah, Kentucky. Autumn Jarvis and Hannah and Chase and all the wonderful people out there were really, really sweet, and it was a wonderful opportunity. They were doing a convention, and they were like, "We really want a Pokemon guest, and we really would love to have you come out." And so I talked to Bob Ruste and Lindsay and a lot of the con folks at Anime Next, and I said, "Look, I'm really sorry, but this whole convention really wants me, and it's the same weekend, so I was wondering if maybe I could take a year off and just go over there." And they're like, "No, we totally understand." I actually went to a staff meeting one day and told them, I'm like, "I'm going to miss you guys. I'm really sorry, but next week I'm going to..." And they were like, "No, we love you, Bill." And I went, and I got my butt on a plane and flew out to Kentucky, and they were really sweet. They were really wonderful. I got to go with Greg Ayers, and the two of us had a blast. And throughout the weekend, we were like, we really miss the folks at Anime Next. It's a shame that the convention's in the same weekend. And then the next thing I know, there's a video floating around on YouTube going, "It's all Bill's fault. You didn't show up at the convention. You ruined everything." And I'm like, "You guys gave me your blessing." But the awesome thing about it is, now, in 2013, OMG Con and Anime Next are on 2 separate weekends. So I can have the best of both worlds. I will be at both this year, and I love everybody, my pals out in Paducah and my pals in New Jersey. Everybody will get to share in the love.
There's plenty of Bill for everyone.
There's Bill for everyone. Oh, it's wonderful.
All right, let's get out of here. Take care.
Thank you, dude. Right. Take care.